Boti. It's your boy, and today we are talking about accents. I myself like to do different accents. There's certain ones that I have yet to get down, but I hope to be a master of disguise in my voice. I liked as a kid, prank phone calling people, doing a voice, doing a persona with a call. I just had, a name and a story and really shaped the character and the comedy, and it helped me with my improv skills. Problem is, and this is the downside, people find some voices racist. I understand when I do them, they're not the intent of stereotyping a voice or putting a character in a box, but I guess that's where we're at right now in society. Things are taken such in a literal way that comedy has to be kept to a limitation. This, of course, is in my opinion. Comedy has been one of the biggest downsides to this culture of sensitive people, and most of the times it's white people who think they need to protect other races. I understand where they're coming from, I do, but comedy and straight name calling are different. I find it very tacky when it comes to a Jamaican accent. Takes says "mon." I'm like, all right, well that's not believable anymore. You don't really trying at all. And that just takes me out of the believability. I had an old coworker who thought it was her job to tell people when they're being offensive, which I understand. It is in a work environment, it is offensive. I get that. But outside of work, I'd hang out with my best friend, who is black, and we make jokes and we have the same kind of comedy. And I talk all about what's appropriate or what not to speak of with someone, and when you should just speak up if you have something that you feel uncomfortable about. If not, ask your friend if they're all right. If my best friend ever told me something that he was uncomfortable with, he would say straight up, like, yeah, don't do that. He would say something that was too far, or it wasn't ever a thing of he when it came to, and it wouldn't even be like about race, just in general stuff that he felt comfortable telling me, he like, don't do that. That made sense to me. I got that. I understood that, and you have to respect people in general. It's kind of becoming the motto of in my opinions in general, and I just find it to be one of those things where you should just in general, tell people how you feel, and if something feels uncomfortable, especially when it comes to comedy, I don't want to upset anybody when it comes to making them laugh. I want to just straight up make them laugh. And with my best friend, we've never had a situation, if it was never something where he got upset. Like, I think the most he's ever got upset with me was when I told a girl that she was better off without him, because it was a weird time. Point is, I'll tell that story one day. The point is that that's the only time he's ever gotten mad at me, like legitimately mad at me, that I could think of. I mean, I'm sure there's other times. I'm sure he could put down in the comments below when he did. The point is that I'm getting off topic. There's people out there who put their nose in other people's business, and they shouldn't unless they're protesting the same issues. I understand race is a touchy subject, but for some, I just hate when we censor comedy because of what it's, it's probably wrong and you probably disagree, but that's just my opinion. It's never to, make fun of or hurt someone. If you look at Dave Chappelle, who did something so well where he was able to make fun of people and races, and people just didn't really take him too seriously. And that's the whole thing of comedy. It's to forget what's going on in real life, going on in your day-to-day routine, or the shit that just in general. Maybe it's politics, maybe it's whatever's going on in the world, and you forget it because you're having fun and someone's making you laugh, and it's something that you can enjoy. I find that to be very important for me. It's just, one of those things where you need to take time to just laugh or smile. And I just think it's very weird where we're at as far as voices and accents and comedy. And, there's John DiMaggio, who plays Bender. He does one of, probably they said, the best Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan being a black man, no one ever argues with that. I mean, John DiMaggio is just a funny guy, and I don't think that's something that should be, brought out or made a big deal out of. I think it's just funny because Tracy Morgan is a character who, he has these mannerisms and things that make him special. And I think that's what makes Tracy Morgan funny, and John DiMaggio funny as well. I mean, John DiMaggio, Bender, Jake the dog, a bunch of characters that he has distinct voices to. I think it's just the distinctiveness of people's voices is what makes stuff funny. And I don't think many people do this, but I mean, if they do, it's kind of strange to put a voice in a box, or put a race on it. Off topic, there was a coworker I used to work with that him and me used to do like a kind of like a ghetto white guy talking about what he was doing for that day or whatever. So I talk like this with a lisp, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's racist." I'm like, "Well, I never said the guy was black. I never said anything. I just said he's just talking like this, and he's going to hang out with his bitches." Because it entirely in this day and age, it could be a white guy who thinks he's way too cool, and he's really not. It's just a sidetrack. But my point is that the example of Tracy Morgan is not being portrayed as a dumb or just racist stereotype. It's just to the tone and mannerisms of his, how he does things. It's just, I love people. I love their mannerisms. I love trying to be able to copy someone and being able to, be able to mimic that in a way that people are unrecognizable to the real thing. And I think that's what I enjoy about voice acting. I think that's what I enjoy about comedy in general. I don't think it's something where people go in for comedy and try to make fun of someone just because it's fun. I think it's more so to mimic with voice acting, stuff like that. It's just that concept of being funny and making them laugh. I guess I know people cannot understand what I'm trying to say, and honestly, it comes from watching voice actors. It's really where I find this thing, and a lot of people find it very offensive at times. I just don't understand where it could be portrayed as racist or stuff like that. I came to this conclusion just because accents in general. There's been a lot of times where I've tried to practice out a voice to try something new, and people are like, well, that sounds racist, or that sounds rude. I have done Jamaican accents. I have done I don't know what else would probably be racist. Asian accents. It's not something where I'm trying to ridicule someone for, or ridicule a certain type of people. I just think it's more so I'm trying to mimic that and make it something where I can make a character out of it, I guess. I don't know. You see people all the time doing these characters. They're like, oh, this is my Asian character. Or like, it's just the concept of you shouldn't have, like, if someone goes, oh, this is my Asian character, that's it. That's just my Asian character. You shouldn't have an Asian character. It should be someone who does this who's also Asian. It should be a small part of the voice acting or the character development, I guess. I don't look into, when I try to create characters, I don't try to look into race or gender, because it's just easier to just kind of come up with that as I go. And that's it. That's it. That was all I want to talk about today, guys. Again, it's just the concept of you should be able to have fun. I think voice acting is one of the biggest things where you can disguise your voice or turn it into something it's not. And I enjoy that. And shout out to Duck, my best friend. I'm sure he'll have something to say on the matter. If not, I'll make sure he does. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again. I'm trying to get some kind of opinion out of somebody, to get some kind of reaction and talk about something. That's what I want for these. That's what I talk about. I talk about video games. I talk about important things that I think are an issue. I don't think this is a good look for gaming in general, to have him just off and stuff. Luckily, most people have just written him off as,